In this video, I'm going to be going over how to create AI-powered winning ads for yourself and for your business. Going to be going over how to create the ads, how to find the ads, the best practices to do when creating these ads, and additionally, how to launch these ads and actually find the winners that are going to best perform. As well as showing you guys what to do, I'm actually going to be creating some example ads alongside so you guys can see the practical and real-time value behind that. With that being said, let's jump right into the video. So how this process is gonna look like is we're gonna create the ads, then we're going to test the ads. So to create the ads, we're gonna create the copy, the visual, and the edits. Again, I'll do this all alongside you guys and actually make a set of ads as well. And then to test and actually find the winners between the ads you make, we're gonna launch them in Facebook in a specific way. So first off, I'm just gonna go over a very high level overview on what is kind of entailed behind this. And then we'll start with the copy, go to the visual and to the edits. So as a minimum of ad spend, and this is gonna be in regards to Facebook ads. You can do this from any platform, but we find that Facebook ads specifically for more service-based businesses, more B2C businesses, they work really well on Facebook. So this is what we're going to be looking at. And from Facebook, you want at least a $30 a day minimum. Now, that is the minimum. Anything less than that, we find that, it doesn't really help to be running it in without this in a certain way. And then at $50 a day, this is optimal. So you want to shoot for this $50 USD a day. This is going to be the best for data. This is going to be the best for performance, everything like that. So we recommend $50 a day. So this video is going to be structured around this $50 a day mark. And this brings us to around 6-ish ads. Now, this is like a formula you can think it of. So for $50, you can run around 6 ads. And if you bump that up to $100, right, that's another $50, you can do around 12-ish ads. That is what we find works the best and the optimal amount of ads to do that. And we are only gonna run this after a creative test. Now, I'm gonna show you how we do a creative test. And this is extremely important. This is something that so many people overlook when creating ads and running ads like this. So how are we actually going to create these ads? And again, from a little bit of high level overview, we have to understand some of the best practices. So we're going to be doing the 50-5-3 method. Now, if you guys have read Alex Hormozi or anything surrounding ads, you probably understand what this is. But basically, we're going to looking at this formula. It's 50 hooks with 5 bodies with 3 CTAs. Now, because we're only running 6 ads at $50 a day, chances are we're not going to do, 50 hooks times 5 bodies times 3 CTAs. It's going to be 750 ads. But we're going to be looking at more of like a 10-1-1 ratio, a 10-2-1 ratio. We want to keep the variability as low as we possibly can when we're testing these. And that is why we are so heavy on the hooks. Now, one little piece of wisdom here. Every dollar you spend on advertising, around 80 cents of it goes to your hook. And this is from this guy. He's the father of advertising. Alex Hormozi talks about him. But this is why it's so important to focus on your hook, right? And that is how we're going to be creating all of these ads. Now, how do we actually create the copy, right? The million-dollar question. And I'll walk you through my exact process. So how we're going to do that is through market research. Now, if you guys have created ads before, you're going to be very familiar with this topic. And I'm going to walk you through how I do market research specifically for running ads for my clients in the home service, home improvement space. So we're going to go onto Facebook ads and I'm going to show you exactly how I do this. So first off, we're going to go into Canada. I'll make my screen a little bit bigger. Don't know why I was at 67. We're going to go into, you can go into all of the United States. I typically like to go into the United States specifically, just because that's where all my clients are. And then from there, you're just going to type a keyword of whatever it is that you're looking for. Then from here, you're going to search up a keyword very relevant to your industry. So for this example, I'm just going to look at roofing. All I'm going to do is search up roofing, and then this is how I'm going to filter, and this is how I'm going to find if it's a good and winning creative ad that we're going to research. So as you can see here, all of this comes up, right? Facebook ads library is an amazing thing. Now, we're going to look at all of these ads, and there's going to be a couple indicators that we look for, and I'll tell you them as I find them. So I'm going to find an ad that I would look at for market research, and I'll explain why I looked at it. So after a little bit of scrolling, there actually wasn't too many good ads that I could see here, but this one is pretty good that we're going to look at. So what I look for is a good description. Now, you can tell the difference between these two. Ideally, this is like this is the bottom of the barrel of being good enough. But as you can see here, right, it's all jumbled. Me looking at it, I just want to instantly turn away, right? It's pretty simple, right? I can still get to the point. I'll find another example here later if I can find one. But we're gonna look for descriptions that are simple, that look like they're being copywritten by someone who knows what they're doing. And with them, we're going to do that. Now, from here, I'm gonna see the ad detail, and there's a couple other things I look for. So the second thing I look for is how long this ad has been running for. So this ad has been running for like 9 months, right? I don't know, 8 months, 9 months. That means that this ad is profitable, right? Unless the business doesn't know how to conduct itself. If this ad has been running for more than, let's say, a month, chances are it converts. So with that being said, right, we're gonna take this as inspiration, and I'm gonna play this, right? And we're gonna get the hook behind it, we're gonna get the body behind it, then we will go from there.
A new roof for $5,000 in Greensboro? Pine Rock Construction has you covered. We're locally owned and operated, so we are not a big roofing company. We don't have 20 offices, 50 trucks, or 100 billboards.
So essentially, all you're gonna do there, right, is you're gonna analyze the hook, you're gonna analyze the body, then analyze their CTA. So from here, once you see that this ad kind of knows what it's talking about, right, like something that you would click on, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go and find all the ads that this company is running. So this is Pine Rock Construction. I don't think I'll get in trouble for showing this on a video, but we'll search up Pine Rock Construction and it'll come up as the profile that was running in the ad that we just saw. So this account actually came out to a little bit of a different name. So a good way to do this, right? This is Pine Rock Construction. Just search up Pine Rock and then see if it matches the profile picture from there. So I found this. Now we're gonna go through all of their other ads. So you can see this one has only been running since the 29th. So these three are the ones that are being tested. You can look at these and study these, but as you can see here, right, we have 3 ads that have been running for a long time. Now we know that these are winners because otherwise they would not be running like this. So we're gonna take, this one is the one we already saw. You're gonna take the hook, you're gonna take the meat, you're gonna take the CTA. This one is just a static ad. So this is something that, you know, you can study around. I like to do videos, and this is where the AI really shines, right? This one too.
It's Gage with Pine Rock Construction. We're out
this
here.
one is another guy, another brand tone. So we're gonna find this and we're gonna get the hook, we're gonna get the body, and we're gonna get the CTA behind that. Okay, so I've taken the copy from this ad and now we're just gonna separate it. So a new roof for 5K in Greensboro, Pine Rock Construction has you covered, right? This is obviously the hook. A new roof for 5K in Greensboro. That is obviously the hook. Now this starts going into the body, right? Pine Rock Construction has you covered. We're locally owned and operated, so we're not a big roofing company. We don't have 20 offices, 50 trucks, or 100 billboards. Essentially, I wrote this very fast, so I'm gonna have spelling mistakes. I think it's only one S. Doesn't really matter. Essentially, we run our business like a lean mean machine, which means we have a small crew, have our own blah, 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 but charge 3x more. And then this is the CTA. So want a fair price for your roof? Click the learn more button now for your free roof estimate. So now, right, we have our first copy that we can do market research off of. So this is the hook, right? This is the body, and this is the CTA. So from here, right, you are going to do some more market research, right? Again, if you just search up roofing, whatever it is, you're gonna find some other companies. Yeah, sometimes Facebook ads library goes like this, just gotta refresh it once you're doing a lot of market research like that. But you can either go from the company that you were doing market research off of or find another one similar. For this case, we're only going to do this just so you guys have a good idea behind it. Now, before I do end, I am gonna find another description that is a telltale sign of another ad that you guys can look for. Just as a little side note, just so that you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. You see this right here, Angels Roofing, I know, $5.99 for a roof, that's crazy. Roofs are usually like 15. That is exactly like the Pine Rock Construction copy that we just saw. And if I scroll down a little bit more, right, what else am I gonna see? I know, 7,000 for a roof seem pretty low. Aren't roofs like 15K? These are two different companies, right? But you see the processes behind it. Anyways, I'll find another one for you guys. So this one right here is another good example of this. Again, this one, you can read it well, right? It's a little bit better than this. It's spaced out, doesn't have all of this, right? And copy's pretty good, right?
Treat your home like it's our own. No corner cutting or junky materials to lower.
It's nice visuals, it's nice music, it's nice all of this. And furthermore, right, if I quickly search these guys up, rock solid exteriors. It's right here. And of course, Facebook is going to be a little bit difficult. It's going to refresh and I'm going to see all the ads that are running right here. Oh, look at this. This is gold, right? This is gold. These have been running since July, right? This is the one we saw. And then you're just going to take this copy, right? Only $7,000 for a full roof replacement.
Of course, some roofs are 15 or 20,000, but our roofs are more.
That's probably your hook, right? A roof for 7,000. This one's probably going to be the same. I haven't even looked at it.
This siding looks like wood, but it's actually made of fiber cement. It lasts up to 50.
Okay, that's your hook right there. What's this one?
If your outdated siding could talk, it would be begging to be replaced.
That's your hook right there. If your outdated siding is talk.
Hey you, the
Hey
90s
you, the 90s, right? These are all hooks. This is a beautiful example of this. So you're just gonna find accounts like this, right? You're gonna find all of these. You're gonna see the hooks that are working and you can repurpose it for yourself and use it as inspiration. So now that we have our copy, right? This is the beautiful thing behind that. As a little bit of a side note here, a little bit, not a disclaimer, but your body is going to be a little bit more experimental because of your unique and special offer, right? Like for this one, it explains pine rock construction. Chances are you're not, locally owned with, well, actually maybe. This is pretty general, but you guys kind of get the idea behind this. You're going to basically talk about yourself, talk about your offer. So it's going to be a little bit more experimental, but keep the same frame as a lot of the ads that you're going to see. It's just basically educating the person on who you are, on who you offer, all of that. So it's pretty straightforward from there. And furthermore, ChatGPT, right? AI is your best friend. You can use it for that, right? Like let's say your business, let's say that you guys do roofing, you're locally owned, you're running a end of year or start of year promotion right now. You can say to ChatGPT, hey, I'm doing all of this. Take it in this context, right? Take the body out of this, take it in this context and rewrite it. It's going to give you a beautiful body. So that's it, right? That is all that you're going to do for that. Now I'm going to create a little bit of a different, copy myself with different things so that we can go into how we actually create the visuals. So I'm going to explain how I do that alongside. You guys can speed through this, but okay, so a new roof for 5K in Greensboro. This hook I really like. This one, no, this one I really liked.
Only $7,000 for a full roof replacement. Of course, some roofs
only
are
$7,000 for a full roof replacement. I like that. So if I was doing roofing, right, I would say my hook, and I'll make this in a different color. Oh, that's not very nice. Make this in red, okay? So $7,000 for a new roof. So that is going to be my hook. Now what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to take this, I'm going to put it into ChatGPT. I'm going to come up with something for myself. So I'm making an example ad copy. Here is my avatar. I own a roofing company in Boise that's been in business for 10 years and services at a cheap price without compromising for quality. We are very quick to get on site to an estimate. Okay, this is all I'm gonna do. Again, this is gonna be very basic, but main point for you stands, this is gonna be everything on your business, right? So from there, I'm gonna say, use this as reference, keep the structure the same. And now we're gonna see what ChatGPT spits out. This is likely gonna be very good. I might have to do a few tweaks here and there, but we're gonna see what it spits out. So this is what ChatGPT spits out. I'm just gonna copy this, right? I'm gonna put it into my Miro board. I'm just gonna go like this actually. We'll do it one by one. So this is our hook. Now let's do our body. So this is our body, right? Our roofing company name, let's name it Liam Roofing or Liam's Roofing, right? Something basic. So we'll see how it kind of flows into there. $7,000 for a new roof. Liam's Roofing has you covered. Perfect, right? That flows very good. We're a locally owned Boise roofing company that has been servicing homeowners for over 10 years. Not some massive franchise with 20 offices, 50 trucks, and 100 billboards. Now you can change this. This is like pretty similar to this. For this instance, we're not a massive franchise with, I don't know. I'm just going to keep it for now, but you guys can change it, right? You're going to use this as inspiration, but it still gets the point across. We run lean, fast, and efficient. I might even say we run our business lean, fast, and efficient. That means a tight-knit crew, smart systems. Smart systems, because we're speaking to the audience, I might not say smart systems, I'll say maybe efficient system, tight-knit crew, efficient systems, smart systems. I'm going from the angle of, because in the other ad he talked about how his smart systems make sure that their finances are better so that you can get a cheaper price. You guys can play around with that in low overhead, yeah, which allows us to keep our prices competitive without ever cutting corners on quality. Right here, you can even emphasize this a little bit more, right? Without ever, you might even capitalize this. And you'll see on the visual how this is going to work, but without ever cutting corners on quality, still get the same premium roofing materials and craftsmanship that big contractors offer, just without the inflated price tag. I'm going to say 10x price tag, because it gets more of that emotional punch in there. 10x price tag. And when you need an estimate, we move fast. Our team is known for quick response times and getting on site sooner, so you're not stuck waiting weeks just to get answers. That's good, right? Just to get answers, less overhead, faster service, honest pricing, solid roofs that last. Now, this part I'm probably going to get rid of just because we're going into our CTA, right? And ChatGPT didn't know that. Fast, team is known for quick response time, getting on site sooner. Perfect, right? This is a good body, or this is at least a good body to test. For sure, this is a good body to test. And again, we took inspiration from this. Now we're gonna go to the CTA. Honestly, right? I think this is a pretty good CTA, right? Want a fair price for your roof? Click the learn more button for more, or something very similar to that. So we'll make this as well, if I can get my mouse to work. So, want a fair price for your roof? Click the learn more button below. Another one you can do here, and this is just from experience of running a lot of ads, but you could say, something like, we're offering a free in-home estimate for the first 6 people who contact us. So click the learn more button before spots run out. Now this is a really lazy, not necessarily lazy, but this is just like a quick other CTA that you can put. But again, you're not going to be focusing on this. Almost all of it is going to be focused on this. As you can see, we already have 2 winners for sure. And if we go through here, right, we can find the other one. This one is,
this siding looks like wood, but it's actually made of fiber cement. It lasts up to 50.
That is like, that's a pretty long hook, and that's more specific for siding. But again, you guys get the point. So now that we have our whole ad here, right? We have the hook, we have the body, and we have the CTA. Now we're going to create the visuals. Now, how are we going to create the visuals? And this is the biggest part of the AI. With this is more just market research enhancing with AI, and this is going to be 100% AI. So what we're going to do is head into HeyGen. Now, if you guys haven't seen any of my other videos, you know how much I talk about HeyGen. But what HeyGen is basically, we're going to put in a script and it's going to use AI avatars, AI clones to actually make it look like they're talking, right? So what we're going to do here is there's a couple ways you can do this. You can either go into create or you can go into avatars. Just from here, I'm going to go into avatars just to kind of make it simplistic for you. I made my own clone, but you guys are going to avoid this. When you go into this, you're going to hit public avatars. Now, this public avatar spot is the best place, the best people that you're going to use. Now, the trick behind this, and this is like sauce that nobody's going to tell you, specifically for home service and home improvement, you're going to look for blonde-haired girls, or blonde-haired women, I should say, and you're gonna look for males with brown hair in their 40s. Those are the 2 avatars that we find work best. But just for this, example, let's just use Jenny, right? Jenny, actually, let's not use Jenny. Let's use Leah. This is pretty good. You can think of it, when you view an ad on Facebook, is this going to look like it was, you know, made by a real person? So we're going to use it in the video. By the way, you guys can, I'll link this in the description. I believe if you guys go through my link, you'll get a couple, I think you'll get like 2 weeks free. So make sure you do that. But now, once we're here, this may look a little daunting, but it's not. I'll show you. So this is where we're going to paste our script into here. So the script that we made right here, right? I'll make this all into a single script so that we can put it right in. 7,000 per new roof. So we're going to have this, and I'm just going to copy all of this. We're going to go back into HeyGen, and then we're going to upload it as our script. Now, this is going to say around how long it's going to be. I think it already did. Wow, that's pretty fast. So this is going to be around a minute. I like to keep our ads around a minute long. This body, I might actually keep a little bit lower if it was more than a minute, but it's right on a minute, so I'm just going to leave it from there. Now, we're going to play it, and we're going to see how it sounds, and we're going to play around with it.
$7,000 for a new roof? Liam's Roofing has you covered. We're a locally owned Boise roofing company that's been serving homeowners for over...
So just from the first play, the first thing I want to do is make it speed up a little bit. So if we go into voice, you'll have speed and you'll have volume. Let's try this at 1.1. Anything past 1.1, I find is a little bit too fast, right? It sounds a little bit weird when you're actually playing it. So let's see how that sounds.
$7,000 for a new roof. Liam's Roofing has you covered. We're a locally owned Boise roofing company.
That. So that's a little bit quicker. There's still a few pauses, and I'm going to show you when I edit this. But there's still a few pauses, but all in all, it's pretty good. Let's skip to like the CTA.
For quick response times and getting on site sooner so you're not stuck waiting weeks just to get answers. We're offering a free in-home estimate for the first 6 people to contact us, so click the Learn More button before spots run out.
Okay, so another thing here that you guys can probably tell, she sounds a little bit, what's the word? A little bit robotic-y. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to go on, what is it? We're gonna make it so that she has a little bit more expression in her voice.
$7,000 for a new roof?
So I switched the voice because the other one wasn't letting me edit it for some reason. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna head into here, always switch it to 11 Labs. 11 Labs is the best voice agent that you can do. You're gonna go into advanced settings, and then from here you can play around with this. Now, the style exaggeration I like to leave, but the stability, that's where that emotion is gonna come from. So we're at 50% right now. This new voice is a little bit better.
$7,000 for a new roof? Liam's Roofing has you covered. We're a locally owned
so this one is pretty good, actually. I'm probably gonna leave it, but I'll show you guys what it sounds like if I put it really low. This is probably gonna sound really bad. Again, stuff like that, right?
$7,000 for a new roof? Liam's Roofing has you covered. We're a locally owned Boise roofing company that's been serving homeowners for over 10 years.
So that's not too bad, actually. It's probably the voice. The main thing behind this is to find a voice that's good. Now we'll play it at more stable, and this will sound like a robot, I hope. Let's see, unless his voice is rude.
$7,000 for a new roof? Liam's Roofing has you covered. We're a locally owned Boise roofing company that's been serving homeowners for over 10 years.
So you can hear it a little bit. Again, this voice is very energetic, so it's a little bit harder to see. But you guys get the point. So if it sounds a little bit like a robot, play around with these settings, play around with the stability, the similarity. Similarity also works. I like to try it there, and then afterwards I'll move on, so I'm not like trying to do 2 things at once. But you guys can play around for there. So let's just call this good, right? I like the voice. I like the, you know, the copy behind it. Now what we're gonna do is we're just going to click save, right? I'm gonna say this example ad. You guys can upload it to whatever you want. Then we will submit 17 premium credits. Okay, this will also use credits, but I will do it for the sake of this video. So you'll submit it, and now it's gonna take a little bit to upload, and I'll be right back once this uploads. So the ad is done now, so we'll quickly look over it just to see if it came out.
$7,000 for a new roof? Liam's Roofing has you covered. We're a locally owned Boise roofing company that's been serving homeowners for over...
So this is all right. Realistically, I probably would have used a different avatar, and I would have done the spacing a little bit different, but this is still really
over
good.
10 years. not some massive franchise with
Like,
20 offices.
people, and I'm not saying this in any rude way possible, but a lot of the people who are going to view this aren't going to know this is AI. So I'm just going to download this, and then I will show you exactly how I edit this. So I'll take you guys through right to my CapCut. So now we're in CapCut. All I did was just update the ad into it. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna edit this for captions and for transitions. So this is just gonna be a very brief overview, but as you can see here.
$7,000 for a new roof?
Okay, so here, I wanna get rid of this smile, but first off, I'm going to, actually, I'll do this first. So I'm gonna get rid of the smile, right? If you guys haven't used CapCut, you guys can edit this with whatever you want. CapCut is the easiest one to do, but we're gonna do that. We're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna see how that looks.
Liam's Roofing has for a new roof. Liam's
Perfect,
Roofing has
right? Then you don't have that space here, another space. Go here, here. And we're just gonna do that all the way down to the beginning. I'm not gonna edit this full ad, but you're gonna do that. And secondly, you're gonna add captions. So I don't know if the free version gives you captions. I have the pro version, but all you're gonna do is just generate the captions. It's gonna generate the captions for you. And then I'll show you how to style it as soon as it loads. So the captions are loaded in. Now, the first thing we're gonna do, we'll play it here. So
owned Boise Roofing Company that's been serving homeowners for over 10
So as
years.
you can see, it's really boring, right? Like this wouldn't be an ad that actually catches your attention. So from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into templates, and this template works really well, I believe. This is the one that we use.
$7,000 for a new roof. Liam's Roofing has you covered.
So
we're a locally owned
this
Boise
one you can
roofing
see is a
company
little
that's been
bit more
serving
playful.
homeowners for over 10 years.
This one, you know, it's more eye-catching, right? It's better than just words on a screen. So
$7,000 for a new
that's
roof.
going to be that. Now what we're going to do, right after we have the captions that are good, and again, you check over it very briefly to make sure it's all good. It's going to be all good though, I'm telling you right now. So now between this is where you're going to add your transitions. Now, there's a couple transitions that are really good to do. I like to do the, it's glare, I believe.
New roof.
Yeah,
Liam's
so
roof.
this right here, if you guys have seen this before.
Liam's Roofing has you covered.
Whoops, I didn't upgrade it. So you just go right there. If you guys have seen videos or ads like this before, you would have 100% saw this. Now, the last two things to do behind this are, number one, find a good soundtrack. So if you go into audio, CapCut has a decent amount, but this is super easy across all editing platforms. Just find like a royalty-free background and just something like cheerful. So let's see how this one is. This one's good, right? Maybe I would have checked a little bit different, but we're gonna add that in. We're going to take the volume down so that it like is barely heard just above it. So we'll go over here.
$7,000 for a new roof. Liam's Roofing has you
Perfect.
covered.
Now, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to add B-roll, and B-roll is a very important part of this. Now, sometimes CapCut has this in their library. Let's check here. Sometimes they have good videos in it. So this one here isn't bad. I probably would have found a little bit of a better one, but when it's always going to be these Chinese ones. When it's in a, what's the word? When it's in the 9x16 as well. Oh, by the way, one thing to do, it's already gonna be in the 9x16, but if you do it like that, sometimes a little tiny bit of stuff doesn't get edited properly. But we're gonna do that, and then all we're gonna do here, as soon as this gets cut in, and you can put this directly into the video as well and just crop out the audio, but just for this case, I'll just show you how this kind of works. So if we overlay this directly, then we add another transition, it's gonna look like this, right? I'll play this from the beginning.
$7,000 for a new roof. Liam's Roofing has you covered. We're a local.
And then I'll put the caption above so it shows up.
$7,000 for a new roof. Liam's Roofing has you covered. We're a locally owned Boise roofing company.
So maybe I would slow this down a little bit, but this is how your ad is gonna look, right? You're gonna have the captions behind it, you're gonna have your AI UCG, you're gonna have the background noise, and then you're going to have your B-roll behind that.
For a new roof, Liam's Roofing has you covered. We're a locally owned
and it's
Boise
going to go
roofing
all the way
company that's
down.
been serving
You're going to
homeowners
do
for
it
over 10 years.
wherever you feel like it is necessary, and then you're going to go from there. So this is how it's going to look like and how you're going to edit the whole ad. Now, the last part of this is how to actually find your winners. And I'll show you how to do that. I'll export this video and I'll see you guys in the next little bit. So now what you're gonna do, you're gonna go into your Facebook Ads Manager. If you guys don't know how to get there, basically you're gonna create a business, business meta suite. You're gonna go through there, go into your campaigns. Now to create this campaign, because we are creative testing, as I mentioned up here, after we have these visuals and after we've exported this from CapCut or whatever editor, we're going to do a creative test to find the winners. Now, how do we actually do a creative test? I'm gonna show you guys. So you're gonna go into your ads manager, you're gonna create a new campaign, you're gonna create a traffic campaign. And this is very important that you select traffic because this is gonna give us the most bang for our buck in consideration of the clicks that we're gonna get. So we're gonna continue there. You're not gonna use the recommended settings. You're gonna go onto manual traffic campaign. Then you're going to continue from there. Now, everything on the campaign level, you're gonna wanna keep relatively the same. Now, you can do campaign budget or ad set budget. It doesn't really matter here because we're gonna be setting up a rule that basically says to stop it after X is hit. So you can just keep it ad set budget, whatever, you can leave that on. Leave everything from there, A/B test off, special categories, leave all of that. Now, this is where you're gonna do it. Now, there's two ways you can do a creative test. You can do it either through the website itself, or you can do it as a message destination. Now, for the sake of this, because it's gonna be for a home service, right? It's gonna be for a roofing ad, we're gonna send it to website. So we're gonna keep this on website. And then for performance goal, we're gonna maximize the number of link clicks. Again, if you're doing it from message destination, you'll do it from, what is it? If I click it, it'll show up and I'm pretty sure it's like conversations. But for this, we're gonna go to link clicks. From there, I think you can actually create the rule through here, but I'm gonna do it from the overview so it's a little bit more simpler for you guys to see. Keep this the same attribution model. Daily budget, now this is gonna be something that's pretty important. Because the creative test is going to stop after a certain amount, you're gonna wanna keep this high. And the reason you're gonna wanna keep this high is because if, let's say we set the rule at 500 impressions, if we're running $20 a day, it might take us a couple days. Now, what's the use in that if we're just aiming for 500 impressions, and if we can do, instead of $20 at 3 days, do $60 at 1 day, right? So you're gonna wanna keep this up high, again, at that minimum 50 a day. We ran 120 a day for some of our testing campaigns. Leave the schedule the same, all of this the same. Your location, now this is gonna be important as well. You're gonna wanna pick the location that you're gonna be targeting initially. So let's just say you were in Boise, right? I said I was in Boise. Boise, Idaho. We're gonna get rid of Canada. We're gonna keep this, I like to keep this to a 15-mile radius. Or actually, depending on where you are in Boise, I'm just gonna keep this the same. Again, this is just an example, but if you're only targeting people in Boise, right, put it at Boise, 15-mile radius, and then that is going to be good from there. Advantage plus audience, keep this on because Facebook is going to basically show your ad to the people who they think are gonna be most interested, and they're pretty good at that. Ad transparency, I think because this account isn't verified, this is showing up. This isn't a big issue though. From here, advantage plus placements, you're gonna wanna do manual placements, and then just select the ones that you're gonna be advertising on. So for me, I'm gonna be advertising on Facebook and Instagram, and then that is all that is going to run. Now, to click next, on the ad itself, everything is pretty much done. You got your Facebook page, Instagram account. It'll be better on your business profile. If you haven't set one up, you can watch a video. It's pretty easy to set up. From there, create ad, manual upload, single, multi-advertiser ads. I keep that off because it's Facebook trying to optimize for it. I don't really find it works well. Now, you're gonna do to the website because we optimize for the website itself. For that, right, it doesn't have to be, let's just say meshline.com, sure, right, like that. So it's gonna be the, whatever it is that you're funneling your traffic to. So this is gonna be some sort of landing page, funnel, whatever that is. But for this instance, just gonna put in Meshline. From here, the add-ons, put none, right? If you're running an instant form, you might do that, but that'll be more in the engagement campaign, the main campaign. So click none for that. And then for the ad creative, you're just gonna set up your creative because we have a video ad. This you can leave blank. And then on your media, if you go into all So you're gonna click upload. Facebook just moved this. I don't know why, but you're gonna go upload. You're gonna go onto your example ad here, right? The one that you created. It's gonna upload for you. So once that is uploaded, it might have that. Just ignore that. You know, there's a lot of warnings on Facebook that you're gonna do. But click next, right? Trim video. It's already trimmed because we edit it. Skip and continue. From here, just keep it all in original. Right? Facebook, if you do that, it'll zoom in. Just keep it all in original. Even if it shows up like that, you don't want to have it like this, right? I don't know why Facebook does that, but just keep it on original. It's never been an issue at all. From here, this is where your copy is going to be. And another thing that I didn't touch on actually that I wanted to touch on, right? If you go here, this copy is, again, you're going to do the exact same thing when you're doing the copies itself, right? You're just going to do that. So, right, ours was $7,000 for a new roof. This is very, very brass, right? Obviously, you're going to switch this around a little bit for yourself, but primary text, that is what is going to show up there. For your headline, that is going to be, I believe, and I could definitely be wrong on this. I usually have to go through every single one. I think it's this one right here. So as you can see, affordable siding replacement. From here, quality roof replacements in Southeast Michigan. We'll say quality roof. You guys would play around with this. Then the description, I believe this is just like a hidden thing. And then your call to action, learn more. So that's going to be the button here. So this one is get quote. I'm just going to leave that at get more. I'm going to click next, turn off all these enhancements. Facebook, I don't know why, but their enhancements aren't the greatest. So just turn all of them off. From there, right, it's done. And you're basically ready to do it from there. So that is going to be your first ad. Again, you're going to have a lot of ads there. So yeah, I was right. This is the main text up here. This is the headline down there. So you're going to keep all of that on. Creative testing, leave that off. And then all this tracking, this would be more on your CRM side when you're tracking it, but that's going to be for a different video. So then all from there you're going to do is you're going to duplicate it for however many ads you have, right? Let's just say there's 7 other ads. You're going to duplicate this. All of this is going to stay the same. And then all you're going to do from here is just, you know, change the ad to whatever it is you're doing. Now that is set up. Now, how are we going to set up our creative test, like our actual creative test? What you're going to do, right? Select all of your ads here. I think you can do from the campaign side, but just from right here, select all your ads. Click on more, click on create a new rule, click on custom rule, your rule name, right? Creative test. You can put that whatever you want. 8 selected ads, and you're going to put the action to turn off ads. Now, you can think of this as basically as soon as X hits, we're going to turn off the ads, and then this is the conditions we're going to do. So I don't like to mess with any of this besides impressions. I don't know why impressions isn't like the first thing that it puts to, but it's going to be impressions. Now, a good threshold for this and a good benchmark for this, based on, you know, what we've seen work, is around 500, right? At around 500, you see that good data come out of it. You don't really have to go more or less, or you don't really have to go more than that, I should say. So around that 400 to 600 range is a good range to test. So what this means, right? Time range, the time range doesn't really matter because if we're running 50 a day, this is going to hit in like, you know, not that long at all. So basically what this means is that for our 8 ads that are selected, they're going to turn them off when the impressions are more than 500, right? And then that is how we're going to see the winners from that. And from here, just put it to continuously. Don't mess with any of these settings. Create this, and then your rule is going to be successfully created. Now, in theory, right, obviously this isn't a launchable campaign, but from there, all you would do is just launch your campaign. And then you're going to find the winners. And I'm actually going to show a real example of a client that we were running. So I'll show you guys that here. So this was for one of our clients. We were working on a little bit of a tighter budget and we were testing a lot of ads inside of the set. So I believe we had our impressions cut to 300. Now they're a little bit above, actually I think it was 350, but it's a little bit above and I'll tell you why. Facebook basically checks it every 30 minutes. So in this one right here, this one would have taken off, right? This one was one of our best performing ones. And because of that, in that 30 minutes, it would have got like 1,000 impressions. That's quite a bit. But as you could see here, right? You're gonna look basically to see if this is a good winning ad. Now these ones are, just ignore these. But what you're gonna do to look for a good winning ad is you're gonna look at results. You're gonna look at your cost per result. and you're going to look at your impressions. And this is kind of how I use to kind of gauge it. But so from here, let's say we're just doing impressions. So this is going to be our lowest. I'll switch it around. So this is going to be our highest to lowest. So now something to consider here, right? Because you're not just going to look at link clicks. This had almost triple what some of these other ones are having. So even if this had 13 link clicks, you're going to look at the cost per result, right? So it was actually 46 cents because we spent so much more and had so much more impressions. This might not be the best ad in this set, but we're going to look at all of these. So for example, this one right here, this one, right? We had 388 ads and it was 8 clicks, and this was an 18 cent per click. This is pretty good, right? But it did have a little bit less, but it's still in that range where we kind of wanted to get it at, right? It's almost at that 400. Now, if I look at, how do I stop this? Okay, whatever. So if we look at cost per result now, we're going to see the lowest. So this one right here, right? We had 3 link clicks, 17 cents, 50 cents, right? 327 impressions. That's okay, right? But it's not the most amount of impressions that we got on that. So I would be a little bit skeptical seeing that. I would kind of see how the other ads are performing. This one, right, we had 8 link clicks with 388. That's pretty good. I would think this is probably our winning ad here. 7 link clicks, same thing. This one performed really well. What else? So this one may have had a 2.7, but we only spent 50 cents and we got $322 off of that. So you can use it, right? You can kind of go from there. Same thing from here. So this one, and this is another thing you're going to see. This we spent almost $5, but only got 300 impressions. Now, that's another thing you have to consider. Some of these ads are actually going to show up less to your audience based on what we spend. So for this one, for example, right, for 50 cents, we got 320. And for this one, for $5, we got 340. So that's another thing you're going to look at to make sure that that is pretty high. But that is the results, right? And this is a real-time result, as you guys can see within that. And that's pretty much it, right? That is how we're going to creative test. That is how we're going to find those winners. And we're going to put it into an engagement campaign, which is outside the scope of this video. But that's where you're actually going to run your ads and you're going to start printing, right? Everything from getting the copy to creating the visual to creating the edits to launching it in Facebook to test. That is how it's going to work. So that is the full video. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this. This is the exact process that me and my team use. You know, we've helped generate other remodelers, just like our client there. We've helped them generate, you know, tens of thousands of dollars with these ads. And yeah, that's that. So I hope you guys got value. Make sure to book a call with me and my team. If you want to learn a little bit more about this, if you yourself run your own business or are looking to start this, feel free to book a call with me and my team. We'll love to run you through that, more personalized, in-depth on what it actually looks like for you. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more future projects. I'll see you in the next one.